Get ready for the Squawking Eagles Podcast, the show that covers only the Philadelphia Eagles.
And welcome to the Squawking Eagles Podcast.
Whoa, hold on. I am back.
Oh, you're back?
I am back.
My bad, man. I got star power in my eyes.
Back streets back. All right.
I enjoyed my time alone.
Thank you for holding down the fort last week, Miguel. I appreciate it. It was a nice little to watch and listen to you ramble for 4 or 5 minutes.
It felt like eternity.
It felt like an eternity. when you're just talking to yourself, it changes the whole thing, right?
It sure does.
Yeah. So welcome to the podcast. I'm Mike. That's Miguel. Mark is over here. How's it going, Mark?
It's another beautiful day to be a disappointed Eagles fan. How you doing?
Better than some other Eagles fans out there. There's I know we're all struggling here to get past this week. So what we're going to do is we are going to just talk about the one word and describe the one word of that New York Giants game, and we're going to move on. And we're going to turn the page, and we're going to open the book onto the playoffs because Nick Sirianni says it's a whole new season. Everyone's 0-0. And then we will preview our Tampa Bay game on Monday night of all days, 8 o'clock at night, last game of the playoff weekend. So if you want to follow us on Instagram, Squawking Eagles Podcast. If you want to follow us on YouTube, that'd be great. It's Squawking Eagles Podcast over there on YouTube. And then let's see. If you want to get a T-shirt that says "Run the Ball," you can go find us on T Republic. Search Squawking Eagles Podcast. All right. Before we get started, if you haven't listened to my interview with Holden Barter, he's got "Go Birds" song coming out tomorrow, which is January 12th. It's an anthem. It's an acoustic version. I had him on the podcast. We talked about his song, how he feels about the Eagles going into Tampa Bay. It was a fun interview. I thought it was interesting. I don't know if you two listened to it yet, but if you haven't, go ahead and listen to it and let us know your thoughts.
Don't you
and also
tomorrow?
Go download his song tomorrow. It's on Spotify, Apple, everything, everywhere. Go download it.
Don't you upload this tomorrow?
No, I'm going to upload this tonight as long as it uploads quick enough. Yeah.
I was saying because you're gonna say tomorrow it's gonna come out on the same day.
Well, January 12th. So if you're serious, you're probably listening to this Friday morning, so it's out. Go download it. January 12th.
Go Birds.
Go Birds. It's a catchy little song there. I'm into it. And I'm not a big country guy either, so it's like, okay, I like it. Cowboys people hate it though. Cowboys players hate it. Bad.
I mean, it's the Cowboys. They hate a lot of things. They hate winning. They hate championships.
And themselves.
Yeah.
They hate themselves.
Would you guys ever? Mike's married currently. Mark, would you ever date a female Dallas Cowboy fan?
So funny enough, I did in college. She wasn't like a hardcore fan, but she was like, "Yeah, my dad was a Cowboys fan." I was like, "Oh, that sucks."
But you wouldn't marry her. Like if things worked out, would you marry her? Mike, if before you were married, you found out your wife was a Cowboy fan, would you marry her?
No.
Okay. So I just want to feel left out because I judge. Like if I find out a girl is a Cowboy fan, I already know it's not going to work out.
Look, if they're a football fan, that's like a nice plus. But like if they're a Cowboy fan, especially if they're a diehard Cowboys fan.
Yeah, my brother's wife is a Giants fan, so he married into a Giants family.
I don't know why that's less tolerable. I guess maybe because of the area we live in.
Because of the area, yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, I think.
Sorry, I didn't mean to throw us off track there. But
no worries.
Most teams, you support any other team, it's like all right, fine. But like Cowboy, if it's Cowboys or Giants, I don't know. If it's Commanders, I'm gonna laugh at you. I'm gonna be like, how? Like what possessed you to just hate your life more than we do? Like, come on,
dude. I know this. I know this beautiful, beautiful girl from the Mercer County area. She is a Washington fan, and I just look at her and just go, "Why?
Yeah, how does that happen?
Is she married?
Understand? Is she married? Yes. She's crying.
I say, if not, you gotta get in there and then fix that.
Yeah.
That is.
I'm trying.
Yeah, so that's what the song's about, him converting a Dallas Cowboy fan into a Eagles fan. So that's what the song's about.
I mean, I guess thinking about it wouldn't be like as hard because like how many Cowboys fans are really true Cowboys fans? It's not just like a rah because they think they're cool Cowboys fandom. So
right.
Yeah. See, but it's like a double standard too, because like, all right, you're a Cowboys fan, but if I can maybe convince you to like leave them and join me, then I start questioning your loyalty. Like, is your loyalty really?
That's a double-edged sword. It's a double-edged sword right there.
Exactly.
True, that's true. So, well, you know what? I'll bet the song's amazing. I've heard parts of it through all the clips. I'll definitely be giving it a full listen when it comes out.
Definitely.
So, yeah, it's good times. I'll be looking forward to it because go Birds.
Go Birds. All right, so let's talk about this. We're one word to describe this game where the Eagles, the team did not show up against the New York Giants. That I was not at all expecting that kind of showing, and the one word I would say is disgraceful. It's disgraceful that they went up to MetLife Stadium and displayed that kind of football. It was ugly. It was hard to watch, especially with a Giants fan. I watched it with a Giants fan too, and he normally is rooting when I'm watching the Eagles game. He's usually watching with me, and he's usually normally rooting for the Eagles because he knows the Giants are trash. But when it comes to Eagles Giants, he's watching, and it was like he couldn't believe it. It was so happy that's what was happening, and it was just disgusting to watch. And so that's my word, disgraceful. Hopefully, Eagles turn the page, and the players can turn the page, and we move on, and don't even think about that game, and just forget about it. Let it go. Just let it go. I want to go with Miguel. Miguel, I want to hear what you have to say, and then we're gonna let the floor out for Mark, because Mark, I feel a winded, a much winded rant coming.
Yeah. Well, my word is horrifying. Even though I predicted us to lose and I knew it was coming, there was just nothing that this team was going to be able to do to prove to me that they fixed anything in a week. They just came out so flat. It was just, why even have the starters out there? Why even attempt to win this game? You have nothing to win. You don't deserve to win. And the most you can do is solidify the Giants as the fourth draft pick in the league in the draft coming up. I mean, wow, we knocked them one after at 5. Maybe they don't get a quarterback, but who knows? We'll finish that discussion later. But yeah, it was sad to see the no effort out there all the way around. And then you got the injuries. You're going into MetLife Stadium. That stadium, the turf alone is known to take out players. Why would you put a playoff team in that danger of hurting our best receiver? A.J. Brown goes down with a knee injury. Come on, man. You risk too much by trying to prove a point that you didn't make. You made it worse. You know what I mean? Instead of just spitting everybody and taking the L, and everybody knowing you're going to take the L, you talked all week how we're gelled together, this, that, and the third, just to come out there and lay flat.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You hit it right on there. Just, what did they do? Like, what did they prove? They didn't prove anything, and there wasn't anything to prove. They just made it, actually, like you said, made it worse. They made it worse. They did.
I've been telling people all week the way that this defense is playing, and at work I told them I could pick 11 guys in my work building and probably go score 2 touchdowns against that Eagles defense. That's how bad they've been playing. Like, it's just it's freaking ridiculous how we lost 5 of the last 6 games that we played. I mean, yes, Miami's had a bigger downfall, but nobody's talking about that. But everybody's focused on what the Eagles are doing, right?
Yeah, and that's the main story.
it's just horrifying to go into the playoffs, knowing what we did last year, and just looking how this season is ending and what we're about to walk into on Monday night. It's just horrifying because it's like it was. How long did it take me to get over the Super Bowl loss? Right,
a while.
Yeah, and we go 10-1 and feeling great, and now it's just like, it's like you caught your girlfriend cheating again. It's like, fuck, this is not gonna work out. You know what I mean? Like it's just heartbreaking and horrifying. So
horrifying. Good one. That's a good one.
Yep.
I know we have a whole bunch of other stuff to talk about, Mark. So let's do this within half hour or so. Like cut it to a half hour rant. I know you can do it.
You can do it.
Yeah.
All righty. My word. No. That's my word. No.
ANOW or NO?
No. I know. No.
They don't deserve 4 letters. Only 2.
No.
Well, they deserve 4 letters, all right. Just not 4 letters.
Right.
A couple other 4 letters. I want to say.
Yes.
No. That was the whole game was no. Like a lot of things you were saying. Why were our starters there? They didn't need to be. No. You got Hurts hurt. You got Brown hurt. You got the team's feelings hurt. No. If we had gone out,
both Browns
with Cindy all of that, that's true. Yeah, Cindy Brown's out, motherfuckers.
Out.
Dickerson, the eye poke.
Yeah. If we had gone out there with all backups, every starter's benched, and we lose the game, none of us give a shit. We don't care. We already resigned up the loss anyway. We don't care. We're done. Whatever. No, you went out and played most of the starters. They got hurt. Hurts was sub 50% before you finally pulled him out for Mariota. Now, granted, you did exactly what Mike said you would do. Exactly what I said I would hope you wouldn't do, is that you played Mariota and you still played the same shitty fucking playbook. I'm sorry. I know we're not supposed to be as bad with our language, but this is insane.
Yeah.
Run the ball. I mean, like, I've said it a million times. You guys even have Boston Scott, who's got a insane record against the Giants. I think. I didn't look at it. I think combined between 2 games, he had 6 carries.
Yeah. And
barely used
what?
He's got 9 touchdowns in 3 games against them. 9 touchdowns.
But not this year because Crayon Man says that's not how we do things, or we can run screens and quarterback draws and get everyone injured because I'm leaving to go coach somewhere else. I'll tell you what, can't wait for that. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about this game. I'm done with this game. It doesn't matter. The game's over. It's gone. Who cares? I said one thing that I'm going to stand with. I said Tyrod Taylor was going to do his damnedest to win that game. Threw almost 300 yards. He's got to prove something. Either way, that's it. No, the game's a no. The coaching's a no. I'm mad at everything. I'm done. No, that week's gone. Let's move on.
Yes, I have started this whole thing on Instagram. It's called Therapy Thursday. And it's people can just put on there and write whatever is on their mind of the last game and just get it out. Get it out of your system. Move on, because tomorrow is Football Friday. Football Friday is a good day.
I'll tell you what. It reset. I'm a little upset about. So you know that whole playoff predictor thing I showed you at the beginning of the year? Went through it a few times.
Yeah.
I went through it again, but I only did the last 6 weeks. In the last 6 weeks, I think we came in at like 27th in the league.
In 6 weeks?
If you just count those 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Comparatively, if you just, the season's only 6 weeks old, where are you? Like 27th. Right. The only team to do worse than us in that 6 week span is the Commanders. So the Panthers had a win. Every team that you can imagine, the Cardinals obviously had a win. Every team you can think of that's like dog shit had a win, except the Commanders. So we're there with the worst of the worst at the very bottom. You know who's at the top?
Who?
Like right up there? Tampa. Tampa went like 5-1 in the same stretch.
Yeah, they're a different team. They're a different team that worked.
Just saying.
You know who else turned it around right after we played them? Buffalo. They went on a nice little run. And they were struggling when they came in and played us.
True.
And look how they turned around for the better, and we turned around for the worse.
Yeah, like between Buffalo and Miami and Philadelphia, they're all three of us are 11-6, and I don't see there's a big difference between those three teams.
Oh, my favorite is the meme of like what's it like week 11 or something, and it's like Eagles 10-1, Dolphins like 10-1 or 9-2, and then the Bills like 5-6, whatever it is, and like only one of these three teams won their division.
Yeah,
and
it was
it
was the 10-1. It was the 10-1 Eagles, the 9-2 Dolphins, and like the 6 and whatever.
6,
whatever. It was something. Yeah. It was like I remember seeing that, and it was like, yeah, it's hard to believe that the Bills are the ones that won their division and not the Eagles.
Mm-hmm. Bro, another year with the NFC East not having back-to-back winners. We're trading with Dallas every year.
Yeah, it's it is still the best division in football. It really is. I would say it's the only division that have Super Bowls from each team. Only division.
Yeah, it's getting painful to believe that right now.
Right? Okay, so let's move on. We're closing the book on the season. 2022-23 season.
Cool.
Anyway, it's over. Done. We're done with the regular season. We're closing the book on the regular season. It is now playoff time because mock draft time. Mock draft time.
We'll play.
We're in the playoffs. I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, at least we're in the playoffs." No, I'm sorry, but the 5th seed is not at all what I would have liked to be in going into the playoffs. But that's where we're at. That's what we have to work with. All of our all of our games are going to be away.
Most likely.
Most likely
they're all away.
If a lot of stuff has to happen, a lot of losses by teams who haven't really lost a lot this year is going to happen.
I got one. I got two for you guys, but I'll say that for later.
So the Eagles are going to be playing Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They already played them this year. I think they played the second or third game this year.
It's a weird game. It's a really weird game we played against them this year because we didn't play football the way that we play football in Philly. We ran the ball, which we don't say. Yeah. We don't do that here. So I don't know how that game happened because we had like 100 and almost 200 rushing yards that game. We don't do that, guys. That's put the brakes on, ladies and gentlemen. We beat them because we played like a winning football. We don't do that. So we can't compare because that's not how we play football anymore. So we can't expect that.
But they're going to have to. The chances of thunderstorms and rain in Tampa Bay on Monday night. There's going to be rain yet again in an Eagles game.
Except no one expects the bubble screen because it's raining.
In the middle of the rain, right. The good news
the quarterback draw on 3rd and 30. Just calling it now.
Just calling it.
Or design quarterback run.
Yeah.
Dude, 37 design quarterback runs.
All in the same direction.
All in the same direction and 45 screens.
I would just be happy. Just run the brotherly shove over and over again over these quarterback draws. Like just run that over and over again.
You know what's crazy?
Get it?
I talked to someone the other day about it. We go, we'll run the football. It's boring football. I'm like, you know what? Fine. Let me be coach. We'll play my boring football. And at the end of the year, when you're sick and tired of us running the ball, I'll tell you to cry while I'm holding a nice silver trophy and pass around to each one of you so you can cry within your hand. And I'll do it every year because it wins.
Hold on. Hold that thought. Keep going. I'll be right
back. Okay. So the Eagles are going to have. So the bright news I just want to also say is that the injury report is that Slay is played full participation, and Devontae Smith was full participation. Look at this. Miguel is bringing out his replica Super Bowl trophy. Yeah, the Eagles are going to need another one of those. Got to need another one of those things. So with the Eagles are going to be playing with, I would say, like today's Thursday, January 11th, and they had a full practice today, and Jalen Hurts threw the ball for the first time since Sunday. Apparently his middle finger is okay. It's a little like beat up, but it's not broken. Everything's kind of intact. but they're limping into the playoffs. They're limping down to Tampa Bay. They're not at full health where you want to be. You want to be at full health. Jalen is a little banged up. AJ Brown, who went down with an injury in the Giants game, but when he was in the locker room and outside the locker room, he didn't have like a brace on or anything. Kind of looked fine.
Would you?
Would I what?
Like, even if you were injured, would you have a brace on the week before the playoffs, knowing you're on TV? Would you have that out there? I wouldn't.
I mean, they have to report it anyway. So
yeah, but you can report as a lower body injury. You don't need to have anyone seeing it as a knee injury, especially not like how cast up it might have to be.
Right. I don't know
because it's like I feel like hockey does the lower body injury thing. The NFL is more specific. I think the NFL has to be more specific. I'm not sure of the rules. We could look that up later. But
there's a Dallas Goddard was on WIP this week. I don't know if you guys heard it. And he talked. The way he talked just made me think that after the Eagles got a playoff berth, they mentally checked out. They mentally checked out of the game and the season because they didn't really feel like it's hard to believe that they wouldn't want to have the easy path to the Super Bowl. They would make it difficult for themselves, but it looks like they put it on cruise control, and cruise control kind of got beat up, and they finished the season 11-6. That's what my take. Miguel, you listened to it, you sent it to me. What are your thoughts on
that? Yeah, I feel like he was trying to state like they had that difficult run in the middle, right in the middle of the season, and they viewed the last 4 games of the seasons like they could basically just walk through them, not really have to practice, kind of trying to save their bodies, and it kind of all backfired on them. I don't know. I don't know if you guys heard Javon Hargrave came out and said the other day that the Eagles practices are a little bit lighter than what they're doing in San Francisco. Now, to what point was he talking? Like, was it beginning of the season, middle of the season, end of the season? Like, I don't know how. It
was a random take.
Yeah, I don't know how far, like how tough practices get during the season, but maybe there was something to that, what, and then you add on what Dallas Goddard said, and maybe he's just stating that, hey, we're taking it a little bit easier in practice so we can not have those soft body injuries, because last year, I don't think we started all 22, right? Pretty much throughout the playoffs.
Yeah, so, and the Super Bowl, first time ever, they said.
Right. So maybe that kind of mentality they were trying to carry over. And I know we've had some players battle some injuries this year, but I mean, maybe they had that mentality because I mean, come on, like where did Jordan Davis go? Like, where's Jordan Davis been these last 4 games? Where's Jalen Carter? Like they've kind of been MIA, and they're the middle of our defense, and fucking Arizona ran right through us. Saquon was doing his thing over last week. Like, it's just, I don't know if they were just not pushing themselves as hard, just trying to get through the game. But that's how I view it. I feel like they were just taking it lightly and we're just going to do it like a walkthrough. We're just going to walk through. We should be able to win. We're a better team. We're better talented. And it just all backfired.
Look, I'll give it to you this way. Javon Hargrave's 2 best seasons were with the Eagles. Obviously not doing as well this year. Maybe they feel a little harder because he's older. He's slower. Maybe he's just not as good as everyone thought he was. I don't know. I thought he did what he needed to, but I mean, when you're around the talent we have on D-line, you should do well. I think the biggest thing is with our team, and I've been watching it all year, every team plays us faster than they used to because they have to. It's not that our D-line is any worse than, I mean, running it is. Our defensive line running is just not stopping it. I think it's part of schemes and calling and the adjustments aren't being made because we don't have a true linebacking core right now. That still blows my mind. I hated that we got. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've said all year I love Dean. I wish he was back, but I didn't like getting rid of White and Edwards. Like, you're getting rid of 2 of them, really? Yeah. Like, come on, we should have kept at least one. I would have liked to have kept White, but like watching how it is now, I'm not going to take some players' bullshit opinion because you're on a different team. Like, you left us to go play for the crybabies of the West. I don't care what you say. You don't mean anything to this city anymore. You're not here, bud. Go away. Shut up. It's like, Any player can go to any team and say something about how it was done there versus here. It's the same if you go to work. You go to work at some job, it does it differently than the other place you're at. Doesn't mean the other place you did is significantly better or worse for the job itself, but it's just different experience for you. Doesn't make a difference for everyone else. You're a different person. Maybe you're a little bitch and you couldn't have, and for you now it feels hard. I don't know. I don't know. It just doesn't matter. Go away. Von Hargrave. Go cry when you're going to lose again because you're the Niners. You're not going to win anything.
Yeah, I think you're pretty much right. He hit the nail on the head right there. He is on another team now. He's got to say things that are going to, enrage his former team and kind of pump up his new team. He's got to say those things. There's something that was said by a player on the Eagles today. I'm not a fan of what he said, but I'll read it to you, and then maybe you can guess who you think said it.
Oh, man. I think you're about to say the same quote I was about to do, but go ahead.
Okay. Do you want to do it?
No, go ahead.
Okay. All right. It says, it might be a good thing to go on the road. They get to booing fast in Philly. Don't need the booze. Now, Miguel, you know who I'm talking about.
I also know who that is.
Do you know who it is, Mark?
Oh, yeah.
Who do you think it is?
Let's go away, Slay.
You're right.
Go away, Slay. I don't want to hear your bullshit. I don't care. Look, I don't care. I don't care what the players say anymore at this point. I care. Actions speak louder than words. Your actions are garbage. I don't care. The only player I'm standing on right now. All right. Bean's out with an injury. I approve of what he did when he was playing. Brown's out with injury at the moment. I mean, he may or may not play. I don't know. I look at what he did. Look at Devontae Smith, where he's like, look, I'm playing. If he plays, sweet, great. I'm proud of you, bud. I look at the numbers and the work that Swift's done. I see what the O-line's done. Like, I'm going to judge you on your actions. The O-line has given Hurts more time than any other player in the world this season when it comes to being a quarterback with time in the pocket. It's unreal. So, hey, kudos to the O-line. Y'all been fantastic. Keep being fantastic. I love you guys.
Three Pro Bowlers.
Yeah,
right.
I do. Our team is littered with Pro Bowlers for as bad as we've looked for the past few weeks. DeAndre Swift, 1,000-yard season. Let's go, Swift. AJ Brown looking at almost 1,500 yards if we didn't just absolutely tank the last few weeks. Easy. Guy had it on his back. Look, I don't care, Slay. You got surgery. Cool. I hope for your sake, I hope it was something that helped you out. I hope you're going to come back better, stronger, and faster. And I hope you're ready to play. If you're not, go away. That's just how it is. I don't want to hear your words. Prove to me as a fan, prove to us as a city that you want to be here and you want to win. If not, go away. We don't want you here. Look what just happened. I'm sorry. Before you go ahead, Miguel. Before you do, I'm sorry. For anyone that knows, obviously, I'm an all-around sports fan here in Philadelphia. We just had a young kid, a young absolute stud for the Flyers.
I was wondering you're going to say if you were going to bring this up.
Who goes? He's upset because he doesn't have a chance to. He wants to play right now. He didn't want to be. He didn't want to earn his way. He just wants to be given the starting lineup. Well, guess what, kid? You might have been great in juniors, phenomenal even. You still got to earn your way into the NHL, man. This isn't the same. So we said, go away. So we did. He went away. I don't care who you are. I don't care what level position you are. If you're not here to win and you're not here to fight for it, go away. That's all it is.
Yeah. I had seen that news about the Flyers, and I didn't know who they were talking about because I'm just not into
like that. In junior hockey, but
I agree, Mark. I couldn't have said it any perfectly than you did, but it's like the players this week is like listening to the Muppets Babies nanny talk. It's just because it's like you done said the same shit for 5 weeks now. And especially Jalen with this whole shit about it's a learning thing. Like, when the fuck are you guys gonna learn? Like, come on, like
you learned last year when you got this close to it all and it fell apart.
Exactly, and now's the time to prove it because y'all words ain't meaning shit this week. And
give me a reason to buy another one of these,
right.
And I'll shut the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
In baseball, usually teams that make a long run in the postseason, you can tell that they're worn out in the beginning of the next season because they're not used to playing those many games in a season. Phillies did it. They started the last season very slowly.
That makes no sense.
Yeah, it's true.
But it makes no sense.
It makes no sense.
Like,
it makes no sense.
Stopped playing in October. I'm now too tired to play in March.
Yeah, it's, believe it or not, it is known fact.
I know. We have Super Bowl slumps all the time. I mean, look at the Chiefs this year. You see it all the time with Super Bowl NFL teams, but it never makes sense to me. I'm like, what do you mean you're in a slump? Well, you won it all, so now suddenly you can't play because you played a few extra games at the end of the year. You still had 12 to 20 weeks off.
Yeah, and usually it's with pitchers. Pitchers are worn out and they're so tired. Their arms are tired, and they can't get back to that same capabilities of they were where they were.
I feel like that makes sense for baseball because they do have like the World Baseball Classic. There is Summer League. There is, stuff that these other players from other countries go out and do. But for football, I mean, come on.
That's my question. Like, are they really?
Sounds like a skill issue.
I just think no, because
are they doing that? Like,
you're supposed to be doing off-season work, right? You're supposed to be doing your endurance training. You're supposed to have all this sports science shit that you're supposed to have figured out. So, I mean, if you're a franchise that's planning to be a playoff contender, championship contender, there should be a plan in place to have these guys ready to go in September.
I agree.
So about that, Miguel's gonna hate me for this, but we're gonna get in on it.
Chip.
Yeah,
you're right. Chip time, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, we gotta go back and count. There's gotta be what were you on? Episode 102, 103?
This is episode 113.
I'm pretty sure in all of 113 episodes, Chip Kelly's name has come out one way.
No, I don't think I was with you guys for the first couple.
But he still got bought.
Yeah.
We still talked about him.
we still did. So we didn't talk about him.
I was talking with someone the other day at work. I was talking with a guy the other day at work, and we were talking about the Eagles and their history. And he brought up Chip Kelly, and one of the things he brought, he's like, some of the players were bitching about the off-season workouts he would have them do, the conditioning, the sleep changing, all that stuff. And I said, you know what? It's funny looking back on it. Because I remember when he implemented in Oregon his first year, and players were kind of like, this is crazy. But then, you know what they didn't do year after year? They didn't slump. They were repeatedly a top 10 college football team, even though they're playing. I mean, when you start really delving into college football, especially back then, no team in the Northwest had any chance of like that. You're not a football team. You don't play against the big boys. And they would go in and play against SEC and Big 10 and Big 12 teams and hold their own the whole time. And they're the only team over there that was doing it for all those years. And he came to Philly. He starts doing that. Everyone's bitching about it. And now we freeze in 2024. What are we talking about that every single team now does?
Sports science.
Extra sports science. Sleep conditioning, extra conditioning with different styles of training. Look, it was done in Philly almost a decade ago, and we screamed about it. It's terrible. Now we all do it. He was ahead of the curve. We, as Philly, were ahead of the curve. And if we had just kind of stuck to it, just saying, not him, just saying the whole sports science thing.
Right.
Because you're right. Why? How are you getting tired? You should be doing your conditions and your sleep. I mean, look, I get it. It's your life. As a player, it's your life, whatever, do what you want to do. But understand that you're one of the gifted few. There's been less than 10,000 NFL players in the history of the league.
Yeah.
Like you're one of a very, very minuscule amount of people who are getting paid money to do an amazing thing called have fun.
Yeah.
Like you complain, we talk about you. Oh no, people bother you asking you for signatures. I go out to dinner and people, can I get your picture? Oh, what a terrible life. And look, don't get me wrong, I'm sure it's annoying. But you're also getting paid millions to play a sport while the rest of us assholes are working 9 to 5, dragging through this economy where some of us can't even afford to buy a car.
Not only that, like they go to the gym every day. They get paid to go to the gym every day. I don't get paid. Like I went from 330 pounds to 190. Nobody paid me for that shit. Like
I'll pay you in a round of applause.
Pay a round of applause. Right, here we go.
Yeah, no, I know. It's insane. Like that was, I remember the whole thing with God, I can't remember his name right now. The running back for the Packers, who just kept getting bigger. And to his point, his coach like, bro,
Eddie Lacy,
yeah.
Eddie Lacy.
Coach like, bro, you gotta slim down. And it's like, no. I mean, eventually he did for a little bit, but like that, like you could do what you want. Like you're making millions to live your life, do whatever you want. Like, yeah, we're asking you to play a sport because that's what you're signed up to do. That's like the whole contract that's paying you the millions is saying, hey, I'm signing this, you're paying me millions, and I'm going to play this sport, preferably at a high level, meaning I'm going to condition, I'm going to sleep, I'm going to eat right, I'm going to do what I need to do to perform. And if you're not doing that, go away.
Right.
Back the whole lot, go away.
So maybe the Eagles are doing some sort of sports science where they're trying to preserve themselves so they're ready for this playoff run. Starting in Tampa Bay.
Nope. You're gonna get the same nope as you did with the last game. Nope. They didn't preserve themselves at all this year. They preserved dog shit. No.
Maybe in their minds they were preserving something.
In Brian Johnson's playbook mind, maybe.
Now, okay, so you just mentioned Brian Johnson. Do you want to talk? What do you want to do first? You want to talk about Tampa Bay?
I want him to go away.
The talk is that he's got 2 job interviews coming up. Tennessee Titans, Carolina Panthers. I'm saying it right now, listeners. I'm putting it right out. Who wants to help? Who wants to rent a moving van? Who needs to help him pack his house? No matter what, I'll help him pack.
Volunteer sign up. Volunteer sign up.
I'm going to do a sign up genius. I'm going to do a sign up genius. We'll arrive at his house. We'll wrap up all of his knickknacks. We'll put him away. We'll put his clothes away, and I'll drive him wherever, Nashville, Charlotte, wherever. I'll drive. So, who's going?
You're nicer than me because I'm driving that truck straight into the Delaware. That thing's not going to make it.
I have a thought about this though.
I'm doing a screen. We're going sideways.
Oh man!
I think this is all a smoke screen. Brian Johnson,
another screen.
Oh, yeah.
What a surprise with Brian Johnson! It's another screen.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
That was good. That was a good softball. My god! That was funny. That's funny.
But my point was, Brian Johnson is an African American, and if there's anything the NFL wants to do is make it look like they're giving African Americans the opportunity to become head coaches in the NFL, since everybody's been chirping about that for the last couple of years. So I think they're just using his name as a candidate because he's on a playoff team. He's in one of the 5 major markets or top 5 major market. So I just think that they're just using him just to say, okay, we brought in an African just to meet the Rooney rule. Yeah, the Rooney rule. Just so they could do that. But I do have a feeling like a lot of coaching is going to be moving around pretty soon. Now that we saw Bill Belichick leave, willing or unwilling from New England, we see Pete Carroll get pushed out the door.
He got pushed up, but like he's still with the team.
He got pushed to the broom closet like Howie did over there in Seattle.
Not to not agree with you, but if I'm just doing a smoke and mirrors kind of tactic like that, why wouldn't you? Like personally, I'm going with someone who's like more likely to get a job, like Eric Bieniemy. Like that man, in my opinion, probably deserves a head coaching shot.
He's going to get Washington.
Like 3 years ago.
He's going to, though?
I think he's going to get Washington.
Oh, you think so? Okay.
Yeah, I think he gets Washington.
I don't know.
That'd be a smart move. That's a smart move, though.
Yeah, they've never had a black coach. They're in Chocolate City. They might as well just get it. And let's call it, brother.
I will say, personally, I don't get me wrong. There shouldn't be, and it doesn't shock me there might be, because you see people like Dan Snyder that actually used to own football teams and should never be around owning teams. And I'm sure there's other assholes out there. I feel like this day and age particularly, there shouldn't be any question or consideration on their skin color. Like, I'm so beyond it at this point, because I'm like, bro, I don't care what color skin they have. Can they coach a goddamn team? Now, granted, I get it. I feel like sometimes because of the asshole owners like Dan Snyder, some people aren't getting their fair shake. Like, I'm really glad to see, as much as it's insane, But Tomlin to again go 500. Look, there's a reason that coach is there. Coach is there. He's a good ass coach. He deserves his spot.
20 years.
Yeah.
How many years?
20.
How many? 20 winning
years.
20 winning years. Amazing.
But again, like, I don't know. I'm weird. I feel like, you know what? I don't like, I've always been, I guess it was just the way I was raised. Like, I don't care where you're from, what you do in the background, what you do in your free time, or what you look like. If you do your job, that's all I ask. You know, I don't care.
But not a lot of people are like that.
Yeah, I was
and
gonna
that's
say
why.
that.
And there's not a lot of people like that, and that's why there's that rule, and that's why there's the rule. And I hope they're not doing that because of the rule. You know,
but I just hate for them. Like, look, again, is nothing against anyone based on. I'm not judging on anyone except their ability to coach.
Right.
No way in hell does Brian Johnson deserve a job in any level of football at all. I wouldn't let him coach Pop Warner for the local team.
But this is what they're looking at. They're looking at 1,000-yard rusher, 2,000-yard receivers, over 3,000-yard passer, and an 11-6 record.
I'm still hiring Tiger Woods over this.
But that's what they're looking at. That's what they're looking at. They're not even looking at his. They're looking at his overall body of work, and they're not looking at the intricate play callings that like we do. How like we nitpick on everything that he's doing and calling him.
You say that, and I'm like, there's no way. There's no. Maybe I'm maybe I'm completely out of my mind. If I'm an owner, there's no way in hell I'm not diving into this shit. There's no way I'm like, oh, he did well. Look at the stats.
Yeah, coach. But you're a person out on the outside looking in. When you have that coach sitting in front of you and you ask them a litany of questions and they give you great answers and they present themselves in a certain way, it's like the combine. Like they say, this guy is good, and then you get him in the combine, and maybe he's a great quarterback now because he did great in the combine. So it's kind of the same effect.
Yeah, I agree. And that usually that's what you do. You look at the people's resume. You look at the resume and see what you have accomplished with what you have. Can Brian Johnson replicate what he's done in Philly?
I would be more likely to hire Sean Desai as my offensive coordinator than let Brian Johnson anywhere around my league. Okay, that's where I'm at right now with BJ, man.
Well, I think you've been like that the entire year, pretty much the entire year.
Right? About week 5 or 6, yeah. Right. Yeah, at that point, I was like,
majority
sick of the screens.
I mean, we all were questioning, right? Because they were like, he has no NFL coaching experience. He was Jalen's quarterback coach or whatever. And, you know, it's just, we knew he was going to run into problems. We didn't think it was going to be like this.
I heard / discussed / someone mentioned to me a rumor of sorts that there's belief among some peoples that there may have been a handshake deal behind closed doors involving Hurts's contract, because a lot of people question the whole Brian Johnson hire.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's some people who are discussing the chance that there may have been a handshake deal, an agreement, saying that, look, because if you look, again, remember, I freaked out over Hurts's contract because I was looking at it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we cleared it up, it was like, wait a second. He's making this much money right here. And the rest of the contract, he's making like this. And it's like, all right, that's like crazy to accept. Like, it really is. Like, yeah, you're going to get the money eventually, but like to play for, pennies compared to the other quarterbacks, that's like crazy to work it out and go, all right. When people are saying like, why accept that deal? When you could have a friend, you could help him out. A little part of the deal, little, hey, look, I'll take this deal. I'll take this kind of, it's a high-end deal in the end, but it's kind of low.
It's a team-friendly deal. It's a
little team-friendly deal. I'll take this, but I want my guy. You know how Aaron Rodgers is with his guy. I want my guy here.
They did the same thing for Carson. They brought people in for Carson. They brought Jordan Matthews in. They brought some other quarterback coach that they didn't want to get rid of.
So I'm
Remember
just
all
saying,
that?
like,
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm just saying they could have done this little handshake deal, and that's why he's the OC. And that's also might be why we keep getting these bullshit answers of, hey, no one's leaving. We're sticking with this. It's a learning curve. It's a
Who do you
learning
think
curve.
the handshake deal was with, though? Like, because Sirianni has no power, right?
Exactly, it was not, and that's why I'm saying that's why I think you see Sirianni so stressed in every interview is that he can't do anything about this. He's stuck.
But see, that's what it doesn't make sense to me, because then it's like, if it's Howie just got burnt by doing the same shit for Carson. Why would Howie do it again?
I'm sorry. Do you want to show me the history of Howie's draft picks up until the last 2 years?
All right.
He's got a huge history of making mistakes.
We're talking about the contract. We're not talking
okay.
We're not talking draft.
Wait.
I'm talking about this situation.
Exactly, but I'm saying he has a history of making bad decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Look, we're all happy with him because I'll give him the credit where the credit's due. He's somehow disgustingly magical at trades, and that is his skill set. Everywhere else he touches, it's kind of a nightmare. The draft, I'm very happy with the last 2 years, although we're still kind of like, how well has it played out? We're for as happy as I am with Carter and with,
Davis.
How well has it actually played out yet? We don't actually know.
Yeah, and also, I mean, we got to line it up with a lot of the other teams that have drafted in that same time span, because a lot of these teams are missing on players a lot too. Like the Jets on the last year. Oh, the draft that they got
Wilson Gardner.
Sauce Gardner.
Sauce Gardner. They got
that was their best draft in the last
that draft's uncomparable, my guy. They got an all-pro receiver, an all-pro running back, and an all-pro corner in one draft. Nobody's beating that.
Exactly. So
that's
it's
insane.
It's like the draft is a hit or miss, regardless of what team. I mean,
but
everybody's going to have the fucked up draft picks. I mean, look at Dallas when they drafted the gay guy that didn't pan out to be the defensive end that they thought he was going to be. Sam, I forgot his name. Sam something.
All I know is that, hey, we drafted Jalen Reagor, and then we drafted Aguilar, and there were better players on. Everyone knew there were better players on the board, and those better players panned out, and ours did not. Although Aguilar is looking like he might win a Super Bowl, so how about that?
Is he? Oh, because he's on the Ravens. He's on the Ravens. He's on the Ravens.
Yeah.
Now he'll blow that game for them. He'll blow that game.
He's been around. He's been around the league
it's him that cost them everything. Like a game-winning touchdown to win the whole thing, and he drops it. Oh God, Philly as a whole will laugh.
Yeah, makes sense. It makes sense. All right. So Brian Johnson. If no one's going to be sad that he is, if he takes one of these jobs, I'm not going to be sad. I know Mark. I'm not going. I'm going to answer for Mark. Mark's not going to be sad
at all.
I'm going to cry myself to sleep.
Now I know we
joy.
I know we said we're going to talk about Tampa Bay, but there is also another thing I want to address.
Oh boy,
that there's a lot of talk about Nick Sirianni, his job being on the line, and that for a coach who was in the Super Bowl last year. He's has 11-6 record this year. The question is if they do a one and done in the playoffs this year, is he out as head coach? There's a lot. I would say no. I know. Colin Cowherd said that he wouldn't be surprised if the Eagles moved on. I would hope that they don't. I don't think it would be the smartest decision, because there's not that there. Who's out there to be really to take this position?
Right. I'm in the camp where I don't think you fire Sirianni. Unfortunately, I think we give him one more season, just to see. We got to give him new coordinators and see how next year leaks out, because it just feels the way that the season's ending and what you're hearing right now coming out in the media and the players saying we kind of were, lackadaisical these last couple of weeks, that we're going to straighten it out now. If those players come out and let's say we beat Tampa and when it's like the third quarter and we're up 45-10, you know what I mean? We're gonna have. I think a lot of
Is
people.
that your score prediction already?
No,
is that your score
no.
prediction?
I'm saying as an example. As an example, it's the third quarter and we're up 45-10. I think a lot of people are going to be like, okay, well, maybe Sirianni does have something to do with the change in the culture in the locker room. Maybe it is just the coordinators.
Imagination.
Hey, listen, what coach are you going to go get right now? Like, all right, Belichick.
Oh,
just
I'm
left.
not. I'm not
I
asking
think
to get rid of Sirianni.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, if you think we're going to be up 45-10 the third quarter, you got to
He said example. He said example.
But like,
I was like, did I word my words wrong? Like, I'm just
no.
For example, I think it'll be changed quickly. Like, we're all angry because of what's happened over the last 5 weeks. But if we get into that third quarter and it's 45-10, everybody's going to be a little bit more comfortable. Yes or no?
I mean, yeah, you got recency bias.
Okay.
We're Eagles fans.
Exactly. So winning a racist thing. So I feel that, maybe bringing in new coordinators and tweaking things here and there on as far as coaching staff would be the thing. Just not let Sirianni go. Let him be the consistent voice that you have in your locker room, because who knows what leaders we're going to lose in this offseason. You might lose Jason Kelsey. You might lose Brandon Graham. You're going to lose maybe Fletcher Cox.
Yeah,
so
Darius Slay, he's going to be.
So you're going to need somebody in that locker room that holds the voice at least. I mean, Jalen's not going to be able to do it by himself, especially when times get hard. You already see how stoic he is on the sideline, whether he's winning or losing. So I can imagine him holding, the locker room attention that in tough situations.
You've got a good point there, Miguel. I think we are in agreement that we will definitely have new offensive and defensive coordinators next year for sure.
Yes,
100%.
I agree.
Do you want to chime in? Do you want to chime in, Mark, or were you?
I mean, yeah, I don't. So I don't think we should move on from Sirianni right away, unless, and this is the part that's like really key, it is the part we don't see. If behind closed doors, he has truly lost the locker room. If the guys aren't like, if he can't call a meeting because the guys just don't respect him, then he's got to go. That's what it is. But
I'm going to deflate that one real quick, because AJ Brown came out and said that Sirianni took the hit for us. We did that. We mid that decision. He stood up for us
in Seattle. Seattle, you're talking about.
He took that look for us. He looked stupid by saying that he was trying to get the pass interference. Like, I think if the players have lost confidence in him, they don't come out and say any of that. They just let him take it and not say anything.
Okay, so that's 4 weeks ago.
No, it was actually 2 weeks ago that he said it. He was taking it about the Seattle game.
2 weeks ago, about the game from 4 or 5 weeks ago. Either way, one look again. Granted, I trust AJ Brown a lot more than I trust a lot of other players. Words, they're there, and they're not. It's I can say whatever I want right now. I could say anything in the world. Doesn't mean it's true. I mean, I believe in AJ Brown. I think he's a very obviously a phenomenal player, and I think he's definitely a leader. And I think it's good for him to come out and say that. But he might be saying that to try to help the team believe. I don't know. We don't know because we're not behind the locker room. We don't actually see it. If I'm in that locker room and I'm seeing what's happening and I know what, like, hey guys, we ran the ball 5 times this game, put up 60 yards, and we stopped running the ball. Yeah, I'm going to be pissed off with my coaches too. Yeah. This whole season feels to me on coaching. And again, I continuously blame BJ, but at the same time, in the back of my mind, I'm like, Sirianni, it's your job as the head coach to step up and fix what's broken. This is broken. It's not fixed. No, this is badly broken. Kick his ass to the curb. Let's win some games, particularly now in the playoffs. If he takes a hold of things or he rights the ship and we come out winning, you're right. Recency bias and the way it's been going, yeah, we're going to be loving him, and that's great. And again, as long as the team's behind him, I'm still cool with keeping him. I think he's been a good coach for us so far. I like his passion. I'm just saying, if we don't know, and it's worse than what we do know, it wouldn't surprise me. I feel that's with any coach and any team. If you're ever a coach of a team, you lose a locker room to an extent where you cannot get it back, you got to go, because it's not going to help anybody to keep you around.
The Eagles moved on from Doug Peterson, and he had lost the locker room, and he was only 2 or 3 years removed from a Super Bowl. So,
yeah, I don't think I don't know. I still think we're gonna get rid
of Doug was a different story because Doug wanted power, and Howie didn't want to give him power, so they had to let him go at that point. So,
and Nick is not pushing for that, and Nick has come a long way from his first ever press conference as an Eagles head coach. He has come a long way.
The flower power,
right? Flower power.
I feel like because of what Sirianni has gone through this season, and if Howie was forced the OC and the DC on Sirianni, it'll be interesting to see how Sirianni approaches Howie in the offseason as far as letting him pick his OC in DC. You know what I mean? Like, is Howie gonna force some new guys on him, or is he gonna have a say this time around? Especially if he stays, because I don't think any of the OCs will stay.
I think he's, especially like you were saying, like, I mean, after one season removed from the Super Bowl, we're still in the playoffs. It's not good. We don't look good. We're all pissed. I'd be kind of shocked.
Jeffrey doesn't fire like that. Jeffrey doesn't fire like spontaneously. Like they break everything down first.
Yeah. And that's how they hired him too. They hired him specifically. They're not going to fire him just over one season.
Yeah.
But all right.
Can you talk about coaching real quick? Because I know I want to get in this whole Belichick thing. Like, Belichick left, Pete Carroll. So I have a theory what's about to happen in the NFL. I want to put it out there into the ether and see how it works. Mm-hmm. I have a feeling that Dallas is going to lose to Green Bay this weekend. And if that happens, McCarthy is out of there. Yes. I think the Giants coach Dable, I think, is going to get the Alabama job.
You think so?
I think he's going to get the Alabama job. And if that happens, Bill Belichick has to make a decision. Does he want to go to New York, which has always been his desire to be at, or does he go to Dallas for Jerry Jones? It's one of those two things that's going to happen.
Wow, that's interesting. That's an interesting thought, because I know there's a lot of people up for that Alabama job because Nick Saban left.
It's shocking, to be honest.
I was pretty shocked by that.
I will say,
I think we all were.
I think Belichick's done.
I think Belichick is going to be on his couch next year. I don't think he is going to be coaching at all.
I don't think so. I watched a couple of interviews today of him talking. He wants to break that record. He's only like one season, like 15 games out or something like that.
True.
He wants that
15 games out of winning. Right.
He's got to be on a good team. He needs to be on a good team.
Well, if you look at the open position, you got maybe San Diego, which they got talent, but I don't know about that. But I feel like Giants or Dallas is one of the two teams that he's going to end up on.
Dable is still the head coach there, but
Dable's out.
I don't think he's out, because I know his defensive coordinator is out because they had some sort of argument.
Well, what happened was that Wink Martindale, who's a defensive coordinator for the Giants, he had brought in two assistants, which were brothers. The Dable came out and said that he fully expected Wink to be on the staff next season, and then after the press conference, went and fired the two guys that he brought in to help him as assistants. So Wink got mad, went into the office, told Dable to go F himself, left without saying anything to anybody. And the Giants were kind of confused, like, did we just lose our DC or not? And then they came out and said that he did. But he's actually up for the position as well for head coaching. I think they were talking about him going to
Panthers.
No,
the Panthers have an open invitation. There's open tryouts to be the coach there. Anybody, please.
Yeah, because so right now it's the Panthers, Patriots, Raiders, Chargers,
Seahawks,
and Seahawks all have positions opening.
So I'll
take any of those jobs if you're looking
as well.
Go ahead.
What's that?
As I mentioned before, I'm like, I understand Belichick wants to. Whether or not he gets the job, I don't know. I think some team is going to make some splash with the draft as well. I think someone's going for Lincoln Riley out of USC. I think they're going to try to pull him to the NFL. I wouldn't be surprised to see if it's someone who tries to go up and grab Caleb Williams and try to pair the two together continuously. But I could see, I could also see him going to Bama. USC might be a good team, but I mean they've got a hell of a history themselves. But Bama's the recent history. Either way, when it comes to the head coaches of the NFL, I think you're going to see a couple college polls. I don't know if people are going to trade people around the way that everyone expects them to. I think Vrabel gets a job. I think he's still a pretty good coach. I think he just didn't see eye to eye there in Tennessee. Yeah, Tennessee's out of coach.
I like him at the DC here.
He's not going to go DC. He likes himself too much as as a head coach.
I see him going to New England. I see him going back.
Yeah,
I can see that. You know what? That might be a really good fit for him too.
Yeah.
But I think overall, I think a lot of these teams, like I'm still confused about the whole Pete Carroll move because I can't imagine Pete Carroll wants to be a senior advisor on whatever board they put him on. That doesn't make sense to me. If they had said, "Hey, like we're moving you to GM or moving you to like AGM, something like that," maybe. I don't think he was very happy to lose the head coaching job, but it must have not been too bad because he is sticking around. But I'm interested to see where they go there. I'm very interested to see that.
I forgot about Seattle.
I heard that Dallas is DC.
Dan Quinn.
Yeah, Dan Quinn is going to be going up there to Seattle.
That's where he's from.
Yeah. That's where they had the Legion of Boom. He was the defensive coordinator.
Yeah,
that could make sense.
Yeah,
but
yeah. So that's the news. That's the news that's been in the talks right now in the ether. I think we're all in agreement with Sirianni and moving on from Brian Johnson. And of course, we will. If the writing's on the wall with Desai, it's just that the season needs to be over and he'll be gone.
Which is not gone already. He's in some kind of. He's sitting in the stand.
He's in a stand somewhere, and I feel bad for the guy. The guy, gets sent up to the booth, and another guy takes his job, and he's got to watch the other guy take his job. That's got to be tough. That can't be easy to see.
No, but it says a lot about the person to be able to take a demotion and still be a part of the team. So,
and he's on the sidelines too. He's down on the sidelines now. He's not even up in the booth. Like last week, he was on the sidelines.
Yeah.
All right.
Plans to fall apart last week. Anyway, moving on to the Commanders.
Moving on. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Philadelphia Eagles, Monday night. Last game. A lot of people are saying that they just wish the game was first. It was the first game. It was on Peacock. Get it over with because they're afraid of the Peacock game.
I'm sorry. Real quick, everyone out there, everyone who is out there, if you have Peacock, don't watch the game. Do not watch the Peacock game. Boycott this BS. We don't need another subscription service that everyone wants to pay for as it is, but to watch an NFL game. I'm sorry, this is a playoff game. Every playoff game should be on network television to be watched. This is BS. Boycott this. Everybody. Nobody needs to watch the Peacock game. Stop it. Stop it, NFL.
Stop it.
Dude, you're going to have to get used to it, man. This is the way all sports are going to. Baseball did it this year. Hockey is doing it as well.
No one's having you subscribe to watch the playoffs. This is the only league that's making you subscribe to watch the playoffs.
There are games that are on Apple TV.
Not for the playoffs.
Yeah. For baseball, they were on TNT. I couldn't watch some of the games because they were on TNT.
TNT is not a subscription service. It's a network television.
I don't have it.
All right, I get it. Your package didn't have it, but it's not like I had to pay extra for it. It's just part of
Apple
normal
TV, Peacock.
Yeah, all those guys. That's all got to stop.
NBA is doing it too now.
I don't care about the NBA. The NBA is a fake sport. No one cares. It's complete BS. Bro, half your rosters don't play.
I don't disrespect hockey. Don't disrespect basketball. All right.
I'm sorry. Hockey players don't take off 30+ games every season because they're tired.
We've had this discussion before.
Yeah, I'm not going to get into it with them.
I'm sorry the NBA players can't play their sport because it's so hard.
Well, that rule was changed. If you paid attention, you know that the rule was changed.
They still have games off.
And they're being
a lot of
NFL players take weeks off too. Like
not really. Okay. You can't. There's only 17 weeks.
All right.
We have. If you go back into the archives, we've had this conversation before.
There's no way week 6.
Go back in the archives.
You're buying tickets to a game, and you're getting shocked because Hurts.
Mark, go back and listen to the archive. Had the argument there.
Go back.
I'm just saying, you're not showing up to a week 6 game going, "Oh my God, why isn't Hurts playing?" Oh, he just didn't feel like it today. That's not happening. Anyway.
Anywho,
playoffs.
Anyway,
Let's
playoffs.
I'm actually glad
Are we supposed to be talking about playoffs?
Look. Not only am I'm glad we're the last game of the week. You know what? If we're gonna buy into the whole script BS, it 100% makes sense that we're the last game of the week. Why are we Monday night? Why are we primetime? Why is our game the most televised game that's gonna happen? Because the Eagles are gonna them up.
You can't tell me that there's not a script happening. You know, Matthew Stafford drafted by the Lions. Does his whole career is pretty much a Detroit Lion. Gets traded to the Los Angeles Rams to win a Super Bowl. Jared Goff gets sent to the tundra of Detroit.
They're both playing each other,
right? Goff gets sent from LA.
Guys, forget about Goff. He's the same exact situation.
Goff gets sent. They go like 0-12, and it takes them 12 games to actually finally win a game in Detroit. They're facing each other. Detroit is a home playoff game for the first time in 30 years. 1993.
I was one.
1990.
That's
actually, it was the winter of 93, right? It would have been like the new year had just started.
Yeah.
I'm not 3. I'm not even 1 yet.
Mike, I think that might have been the year we met, Mike. 93.
1993. I was 13 years old. We were 13 years old.
6th grade.
God,
Sixth grade.
Yeah, 6th grade. 6 years later, you graduated.
That's right. Crazy. That is crazy.
Old as hell, man.
Yeah.
Is it that's late for you, grandpas?
It is. I got to get my bed. I got to get to sleep. So that's a good script right there. Okay. Look at Packers and
by the way,
and
Lions
Cowboys.
are winning that game. Just saying.
Lions are going to win that game.
Yeah.
I want the Lions to win it, but I've heard a lot of people saying the Rams are taking that.
Yeah. Hey, if they do, that's good for us. The next game is Green Bay and Dallas. 9 years ago today, January 11th, Mike McCarthy and the Packers are facing Tony Romo, Des Bryant.
The catch.
Des Bryant with the catch that
wasn't a catch.
That wasn't a catch. That was 9 years ago today.
Hold on. You're saying the Cowboys cheated?
No. They won.
I almost got kicked out of a diner for arguing that game. Like years after the game.
Years later,
in a diner at 2:00 in the morning. It was a catch.
So the Packers and Dallas, they have a rivalry.
Packers are winning. Just
Packers
saying.
Packers are. I hope. Gosh,
you know what?
I hope they win.
That one wouldn't surprise me as much.
I would hope they win that game. I hope they win that game.
Although I don't think they have the team to do it. I don't know. I couldn't name half the players on the Packers.
No. Jordan Love. That's about it.
Any given Sunday, brother.
I know, but you got personally got to think. You got to think.
Dak is going to Dak. Mark
You're
my
right.
words.
But Micah Parsons got to feel snubbed for not making the Pro Bowl. Like, that's insane. That's insane, bro.
Right?
Guys like leading the league all year, like tackles and sacks. And they go, hey, you know what you're not going to do? Be good this year. Like, goodbye.
Also, Dak did throw 9 interceptions. So he was right. He didn't throw 10. But he could still throw one in the playoffs, so we'll get him that 10. I think he can do that. I think
he could definitely throw one. Then he won't have any more games, and we can't go any higher than 10, so he's safe. So
that's right. And then we have the Eagles and Tampa Bay. And Tampa Bay and Eagles have played each other the most playoff history against each other. They've played, I think, 6 times against each other. There's history there. Yeah, they closed out the vet with that law that was sent them to the Super Bowl, and the Eagles had to go home. You know, that was.
Don't bring up old stuff.
Tyreek and the Chiefs.
Yeah, let's not talk about it.
Okay, so look, and now Miami and the Chiefs are going to play. That could be a snow game. You know,
-9 degrees.
I wanted Miami to win. There's no way. There's no way.
No.
Did you watch Hard Knocks? They're all hurt.
I'm so behind on Hard Knocks.
Hurt back. House on fire.
Yeah,
Tyreek's house is on fire. Literally, house is on fire. His son,
his son set it on fire for revenge.
Playing with
years
matches,
ago.
Right? And then, we have I forget what the other team, Buffalo and Pittsburgh. That's
no one cares. No one cares about that game.
It's going to be a cold game.
Literally, no one's going to watch that game. Is that not the Peacock game?
Yeah, that's a Peacock game.
Yeah, no one watches it. Nobody watches the game. Look, nobody wants to watch that game. Who cares about that game? We already know who's going to win. This Mike Tomlin gets a round of applause for another successful season and bows out gracefully.
Yeah.
Move on. No one cares about that game.
Yeah. And then we have We also have Houston and Cleveland.
That's going to Joe Flacco, Cleveland.
If Watson would have been starting, it would have been a more bigger story.
Well, that's why Watson got hurt.
That's a good script right there. That's a good script. I think that it's also another fact is that this is the first time in NFL history that 3 teams that play by Lake Erie are in the playoffs: Buffalo, Cleveland, and Detroit. First time ever. That was a cool fact.
That is
okay. Yeah. Okay. So here we go. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now we're going to go to Tampa Bay. We know what we're getting involved with here with Baker Mayfield. They have a really good running back in Rashard White, I think his name is, right?
Yeah.
They have Mike Evans, a stellar receiver with nothing but 1,000-yard receiving yards every year, it seems like. And they have a well-coached defense by what's his name? Bowles.
That guy.
By Bowles. Dave Bowles. He's got a terrific defense. They always do. They fought the Eagles in the first game they played this year, and this is going to be a hard-fought battle. And I hopefully the Eagles know what they're getting into.
Can I just interject?
Go for it. Go, Mark. Go.
Just because you mentioned it, I want to bring it up. Mike Evans did not just do 1,000-yard receptions or 1,000 yards seasons after seasons. It's a decade. He has officially gone 10 seasons and never in that time gotten less than 1,000 yards.
Yeah, that's
this
pretty
man
impressive.
Is on fire as a career. Unreal.
Yeah. He's a Hall of Famer for
if he's not first ballot, then they're doing it wrong.
Yeah. So let's discuss this game. I know the weather is going to be rain again. I thought it was going to be better weather than it's going to be, but it's going to be rain. What do you say, Mark? What are you thinking? What do you want to see? What do you want to hope that's going to happen? Let's hope what's going to happen, because it's no guarantee of what you're going to say is going to actually happen.
I mean, do I have to even say it? What should we do?
Run the
ball.
You guys know me, so look, it's if we run the ball, we win the game. It's that easy, chat. Everyone out there, it's that easy. You run the ball a few, let's say 24 plus times, 25 plus times, you win the game. Like, writings on the wall. 25 plus runs by your running backs. Let me be very specific, you stupid morons as an offensive coordinator. By the running backs, 25 plus runs. No QB runs included in that number.
Right.
Idiots. You win the game. It's like recipe. It's like a baking recipe. Handball to running back 25 plus times equals win the game. That's simple as that. It's can't go wrong.
Can't go wrong.
So with that, the Eagles win 27-24.
27-24. Close game.
Mm-hmm.
With them running the ball, though.
With them running the ball. If we don't run the ball under 25 times, we don't even score 10. We're just going to eat dog shit.
Ugh.
That doesn't taste good. So go ahead.
I would never know. I haven't tried.
I mean, true. I haven't tried either, but
I would assume it doesn't taste good.
I would hope not. Yeah.
Other dogs do it, though, so who knows? What are they?
Dogs
eat a lot of things.
Miguel?
Yeah.
What do you got to say, buddy?
Brother. See, what I want to happen, what I think is going to happen are two completely different things right now. Like I've been saying all week, I could pick 11 guys off the street and probably score 2 touchdowns on that Eagles defense the way they've been playing. I just don't have any faith in this team. I want to have faith. I want to believe that a 2017 run is in them where, okay, Carson got hurt. Nick Foles came in. They switched the playbook around for Nick, and they went on that run. That's what I want to happen. But the reality of it is that I don't think that's what's going to happen. I feel like I don't even want to say this, but I feel like they're going to prove me wrong somehow this week. And let me just say this real quick. Let me get it off my chest because it's been bothering me since I saw Quez Watkins doing this at the end of the fucking game. Like he actually did something. Stupid. Like Quez, just fucking give the ball to the referee and go sit your ass down on the bench. You're fucking the third Nelson Aguilar, Jalen Reagor. You're falling in that category, my friend. So you have no room to talk. 100%. I feel like they're going to prove us wrong. I feel like the Eagles are going to sneak this one out for whatever odd reason that they do. And I feel like it's going to be a 26-16 win.
You're giving our defense some credit.
I got to. Somebody's got to save it. Somebody's got to save us. If the offense doesn't get going, the defense has got to do something.
I hear what Miguel, what you're saying. I hear what Mark's saying about running the ball, and someone's got to show up. My thought pattern is that when there's bad weather, you got to play to the weather. So if it's snowing out there, raining, you got to run.
Throw a screen.
The bubble screen. No, I'm sorry. No. You got to run the ball with your running backs who are they're mutters. Your mutter is a mutter, right? You got to run the ball. If they go out there in the rain and you start passing, there's going to be interceptions. There's going to be a lot of 3 and outs. I can't watch another game where there's so many 3 and outs. Like I'm heartbroken watching these games where Jalen Hurts throws a pass, 3 passes in a row, and they got to go sit on the bench.
Yeah.
I can't.
Meanwhile, the defense can't get off the field on 3rd down either.
Defense is barely taking off the offense is just walking off the field, and defense is barely taking their helmets off, and they got to get back on the field again.
Right.
And they're out there for like 13, 15, 16 plays in a row. They're running so many plays against this Eagles defense. They are gassed before the Eagles defense was gassed before the game started. And it's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot. If it's raining and it's going to be sloppy, it's going to be a long game. The offense has to stay out there. You cannot the defense can't let Baker Mayfield get comfortable. You got to let him run around. You got to make him uncomfortable.
You can't make him out here be like Drew Lock and have his way. Come on now.
Right. He can't be Drew Lock out there. Because remember, he is Baker Mayfield. I like the guy. I have respect for Baker Mayfield, but you can't let him beat you. It's just they're a 9-8 team. They struggled against the Panthers last game of the season with their starters in there, and they only scored 3 field goals. They won 9-6 against the Panthers, who in our new NFL that we're running, they would be regulated back to the USFL. UFL, I think it's called. UFL now. They're going to be the UFL. So Carolina and New England would be regulated back to that division, and we're going to bring in the 2 champions next year. We're going to follow it that way.
I'm going to give you something.
What?
No boy.
DeAndre Swift.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is going to be healthy come Monday.
He's going to get hurt.
He's going to get 21 carries.
Okay.
No,
127 yards.
Okay.
And that's what's going to win us the game.
I gotta say, DeAndre Swift didn't. He looked good against
everybody.
I got a question. Why
Everybody.
voice on that prediction though?
Huh?
Why the
What's
sexy voice on that prediction?
He said it in that voice, and like if you're watching this, he's in the dark. He's like out in the dark there. My score is, I think, I want to say when I had Holden on the podcast, I did the interview. I got his score from him, and his score was 21-17. Eagles. I think the Eagles are going to score at least 28 points, and I think it's going to be like 28-10.
I think Keely Ringo gets a pick.
You know, he's going to be out there as not as much. He's going to be in like, second. He's going to be in. Well, Slay is back and Bradbury is unfortunately still there. So
don't care. Neither one of them keep up. Get Ringo and Ricks out there, man.
Yeah. But if we're correct, the Eagles win this game.
It's funny how you throw away experience just so quickly. You can just get the old guys out.
Yeah, just drop it. Just drop it like an old.
Is that how you gonna feel about us, Mark? Get the old guys out of here. I'll run this fucking thing myself.
That's why I'm
here. It's great. I was just there thinking 30 years, Miguel. I've known you for 30 years.
Yeah, brother.
I've barely been alive 30 years. I feel old. Old. God damn. Wild. How do you guys even move?
Slowly, sometimes.
I look younger than you, my guy.
You do. Well, I'm fat. I didn't lose my weight yet. I stayed fat.
Oh man, when when my son was born, he's 11 years old. My beard was brown, and now it's like
that's when I met you.
11 years ago, right? Yeah, I've known you for 11 years.
I knew you for 10. Like when I first met you, I think he was like. One,
a couple months
almost
old?
One. Yeah.
One. Okay. All right. So yeah, 10 years. 10 years.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Mark. Your bill will be turning soon.
Oh, I had one today. It was like right here. I was white as could be, and I was like, not.
No. It was overnight. It was like overnight, and I got all this gray.
Yeah. No, I remember I had like 3 brown hairs. They were like light brown. And that's how it started, and then all this gray just grew in.
All right.
Yeah, all right. A little salt and pepper.
Here we go. Okay. So we got we're 3. Also, we all want the Eagles to win. We're at 27, 26, 28 points.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the spread is yet. I have to look it up. I didn't want to look at it this time. I didn't want to look at it because I didn't want it to sway my decision of what this game was going to be like. So I just wanted to go on like pure heart and knowledge of Philadelphia Eagles football.
I thought it was -3, but I haven't looked.
While you're looking up our final records for the season, Mark again 12-5, 12-5, and then Miguel and I 11-6 again, 11-6,
11-6,
11-6. You and I. And Eagle and Mark's 12-5 because
wait, did you put Mark down that he called the Giants to win last week or the Eagles to win last week? Because
I went with what
correctly. He chose the Giants.
You told me he chose the Giants. That's what you said. Then he went and said he chose the Eagles. So which one do you want me to go with?
So he kind of flip flop back forth. He chose the Giants first and then talked himself out of picking the Giants. So I got to go with his first pick. Right,
I might have I go with his first pick. I could be like a little asterisk next to his record.
That's what he deserves. Little ass.
Look, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. The Eagles are a -3 favorite.
Yeah.
-3. Now I said multiple times the Eagles. The Eagles were my team. I'm 11-6, just like them. I said the Giants after the pod, but on the pod, I said the Eagles. And I only said after the pod because after the pod, I said, man, like I feel like it's still going to be the Giants because it just feels that way. But in my heart of hearts, I took the Birds. I always take the Birds. Huh?
I'm an artist.
I'm telling you to ruin my record because I stood by the Birds. Always stand by the Birds.
Also, Mark, I also want to congratulate you. I know I don't think I did it yet, but you won our fantasy football league. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's been I've been waiting to actually say it out loud. I've been waiting to say it out loud.
Now it feels more appropriate to wear this.
Oh my God.
So I gotta make it a time to get you the trophy because it's your trophy to have now.
I'm gonna have it on the pod.
Yeah,
it's gonna be right here, just like on my shoulder. Just look, I win because I run the ball.
Right, right.
What I do, guys, I run the ball. I win games.
Right. Okay, that'll do it. I think we've kind of covered a lot of stuff today. I know it's a bit of a long podcast, but I think we had to get a lot off our chests, not about the Giants, just about the Eagles getting into the playoffs. Thank you for listening. Follow our in-game takes that will be released. So Monday, I'll try to get it out on Wednesday so you guys can hear it. If not, I'll try to get it out Tuesday for you. Follow us on Lockerverse. Follow us on the Lockerverse. Download the app and comment and join in on the chat over there. The link is in the bio in the bottom, right in the bottom. Yeah, I think that'll do it. Mike, Miguel, Mark, thanks, buddies.
You know how we do. EAGLES.
Eagles. Go Birds.
Let's go Birds.
Hey, Mike, hit that music, man.
Boy, I wish she could have been there. The Cowboys are sure gonna miss her. I hate to break it to them, she looking better in green. Tomorrow she was planning on leaving, but she done went and changed her philosophies. Was it the fans? Was it the lights? Could have been my arm wrapped around her all night. I knew she was the one when she said the words, not the words you might think. Oh man, she said go Birds.